Right now at 10, a closer look at APD's handling of forensic evidence, how recent incidents are raising concern.
A judge's decision under fire. Tonight, he speaks out about his controversial ruling to return a puppy to her owner.
And from the sheriff's office to the TV screen, the department that may soon get its own TV show to help solve cold cases. The Night Beat starts now.
First, it was a freezer with DNA samples. Now it is a refrigerator with sexual assault kits.
For the second time in recent months, Austin police equipment could have put forensic samples at risk. The latest issue involves mold found on hundreds of those kits that were waiting to be tested. Tony Plahetsky has been following this story all day and joins us now with what APD officials are saying.
The good news so far is that the mold does not appear to be impacting the ability of forensic analysts to get evidence from those sexual assault kits. But APD's handling of forensic evidence is again under scrutiny. We first told you in December about a freezer that broke down in March 2016 that was housing hundreds of DNA samples. An alarm system designed to alert forensic staff didn't do so, and the problem went unnoticed for days. In the latest issue, mold was discovered in April on a sexual assault kit after it was sent to a private lab for testing. Interim Police Chief Brian Manley also points out that 1,000 samples from the same refrigerator had been tested and no mold was found. I asked Chief Manley about these two equipment issues.
And again, Tony, I think that folds into what we want to do with reviewing our quality assurance program. We want to make sure that we're taking the appropriate steps, not only with the evidence that we have, but with the equipment that we're storing the evidence in.
The department has been working since last fall to get thousands of sexual assault kits tested. Officials point out that because the kits with mold on the containers had not been tested, they did not play a role in any criminal case that resulted in a conviction. Tony Plahetsky, KVUE News Night Beat.
KVUE found that it's not just a problem here in Austin, that Texas leads the nation in untested rape kits. There are nearly 20,000 waiting to be tested. And you can find the full report on our website, KVUE.com.
Take a look at your screen. Police are still searching for a young boy believed to be kidnapped by this man, Alejandro Sebastian Ludina. Police say the 22-month-old is in danger. If you see Ludina or this car, a brown 2008 Honda Civic with missing front and rear bumpers, call the police.
The puppy left in a hot car in Manor earlier this month is still at the Austin Animal Center tonight, waiting for her owner to pick her up. Now the judge who gave that puppy back is speaking out. The Night Beat's Tina Shively sat down with him to find out what led to that ruling. Tina?
Yeah, Quita, Judge Jeffrey Lewis said he had to set his emotions aside and consider the facts, deciding in the end that what he says was a case of stupidity, not cruelty.
The chief of police called me at home one evening and asked me if I needed to have a police car come sit outside the house.
Judge Jeffrey Lewis isn't used to getting threats, but his latest case is stirring up some controversy. Days after officers rescued 10-week-old Annabelle from inside a hot car, Lewis presided over what he describes as a custody hearing of sorts.
I looked at the conditions that fell under the guidelines of cruelty, and I just didn't see it.
Lewis ruled that her owner, 20-year-old Chandler Bullen, can have Annabelle back. He considered Bullen's age, the fact that he had no prior animal-related arrests, and the dog's condition.
She's chubby, and you can tell by the way they wag their tail and things like that if they're happy or not. So I didn't see any indication, and usually with abuse or things like that, you know, there's previous fractures or something.
The original affidavit states Annabelle had fleas and lesions, but Lewis says that was not brought to his attention. It also states Bullen admitted to police he left Annabelle in the car because he didn't want to waste gas.
He talked about his financial condition. I'm like, well, that may have had, you know, I don't know if he could have made it to the lake if he left the car running.
Bullen has until July 22nd to pick up Annabelle with certain stipulations set by Lewis and outlined in this document issued today by the court. Bullen has to pay a court fee of $95 and a fee to Austin Animal Center for room and board, which is over $300 and climbing by the day. Bullen will then need to check in with the court periodically to prove Annabelle is healthy.
I was weighing cruelty versus stupidity, and I think at that point, I think stupidity kind of weighed out.
And Bullen is also facing a criminal charge of animal cruelty. That case is set for next week at the Travis County Courthouse. Quita?
Tina, thank you. A suspect is in custody tonight in connection to a string of sexual assault cases. Police say a 32-year-old man lured victims into his vehicle and asked for sexual favors. When they refused, he assaulted them. 3 of the known victims are members of the transgender community. If you know of any other attacks, you're asked to please call police.
3 police officers indicted today in Chicago, charged with conspiring to cover up the actions of a fellow cop in a fatal shooting. Nearly 3 years ago, Officer Jason Van Dyke shot 17-year-old Laquan McDonald 16 times in 15 seconds. Now his partner, another officer, and a former detective are facing conspiracy, obstruction of justice, and official misconduct charges.
These defendants lied about what occurred during a police-involved shooting in order to prevent independent criminal investigators from learning the truth. While they are sworn to serve and protect as well as uphold the law, they are not above the law.
Van Dyke is charged with first-degree murder. He has pleaded not guilty. Also today, the city released the dash cam video to the public. A card scammer found at a 7-Eleven gas station on Interstate 35. The Austin Police Department says it has been removed and no others were found at the other pumps. Just a reminder to check the keypad and card slot before using any gas pumps. If they look funny, don't use them.
A reversal tonight from Republican leadership postponing a vote on health care after insisting the Senate would move forward before the July 4th recess. ABC's Lana Zach has more from Washington.
Everybody around the table is interested in getting to yes.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said the meeting Republican senators had with President Trump was helpful.
This will be great if we get it done, and if we don't get it done, it's just going to be something that we're not going to like, and that's okay, and I understand that very well.
Senators in the room say the president suggested that the GOP bill needed more heart and that more money should be allocated to health care. Deciding to postpone a vote on the Senate health care bill until after the July 4th holiday is a major reversal.
Well, we're still talking.
Earlier in the day, the Republican leadership insisted there would be no delay.
Well, I expect to have the support to get it done, and yes, we will vote this week.
But with the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office projecting the Senate plan would make 22 million more Americans uninsured over the next decade, 15 million more uninsured next year alone, it seems the bill couldn't withstand the growing pressure from Republican opponents. Democrats, meanwhile, have been united against the GOP health care bill.
This is not a bill of just paper and pencil. This is not just abstract numbers. These are real people.
But this isn't the end of the line for the Republican bill. McConnell says he plans to make edits and bring it back after Independence Day.
Reporting from Washington, Lana Zach, ABC News.
Radar is dry tonight, but with daytime heating earlier this afternoon into the early evening, widely scattered showers and storms, not impacting everyone. The heaviest staying to the south of Austin earlier today. Few spots in Fayette and also Caldwell County recording more than 2 inches of rainfall. Officially in Austin, though, hundredths of an inch. That's the best we could do. And unfortunately, our rain chances are dropping starting tomorrow. The heat is going up, the humidity staying the same, and that's why we've got a heat index forecast to show you above 100, as high as 104 a little later this week. Much more on that coming up.
Thanks, Albert. Some of the biggest cold cases in Williamson County may soon get solved on national television. The Night Beat's Jason Puckett spoke with the county sheriff today about the possibility of getting their own show.
Well, that's exactly right, Mike. And he says the show is going to be an authentic, unscripted look at their department and that could actually help them solve cold cases. The working halls of the Wilco Sheriff's Department will soon hold more than just our cameras because a production company is sending a team to shoot a new show.
They're creating a trailer for the show pitch to the network executives.
It's all about what's going on behind these locked, restricted doors. See, Sheriff Chody has done something unique, recruiting retired law enforcement to come be new eyes on the county's cold cases.
Some of the experience that these people are bringing are something I couldn't even buy.
The 13 detectives are working pro bono to dig deep and solve high-profile cases like Rachel Cook's.
What do we have to lose with not doing this?
After they started the program, Sheriff Chody was contacted by 7 production crews wanting to share the story, and he saw an opportunity.
Even if we get a tip of a suspect that we can take off our suspect list, that we're not wasting resources on now, or add a witness or take away a witness, we've done something.
Now, he admits the crew is having to warm up to having even more cameras in the building.
I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I didn't have the same feelings, but we have to be willing to take that chance.
A chance at more eyes, possibly the entire nation's taking a fresh look at cold cases.
I think we owe it to the families. I think we owe it to Williamson County. I think we owe it to the detectives who have worked tremendously hard on these cases over the years. And again, I don't see any negative to this whatsoever.
Sheriff Chody also wanted me to add that the county is not getting any money or kickbacks from this. He says the exposure is the reward here. And the trailer will be shot and pitched to execs in the next couple months. Mike Quita.